What's going on, everybody? Soliaker here, and this video is from John Felix's channel. It's a live stream, and it was with a few different people, but it primarily dealt with Big Nick. And if you don't know who Big Nick is, I remember when I was just not even getting started on YouTube, but learning about my rights and things of that nature. I was actually watching Big Nick, and I was watching Honor Your Oath, I was watching San Joaquin, I was watching all these auditors from all over the place, you know, Rogue Nation, all of them. I was watching these guys, learning about my rights, and I saw Big Nick, and I was like, man, this is pretty impressive. So let me show you, let me give some context of what I was watching, and then we'll get into that.
I just went down there and talked to your major. I just went and talked to your major. What's your name and your badge number? What's your name and your badge number? Your name and your badge number.
What is your name?
There's the one right there. His word supersedes that.
No.
The owner says I can be right here. So try it again.
Okay.
Try it again.
What are you doing here?
None of your business. What are you doing here?
You're not,
What? None of your business. What are you doing here?
I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
No, you're not. Not harassing me.
I'm not harassing.
What's your name and your badge number?
I already told you. What is your
You
name?
didn't tell me.
What is your name?
What is your name and your badge number?
What is
You
your
can call
name?
me daddy.
Okay.
If you want my name, it's gonna cost you, and it's expensive. It might cost you your job.
And so, you know, over years and years and years, you know, this man's been standing up for his First Amendment rights and, you know, not taking, you know, from what I saw was not taking the police's crap and things of that nature, you know, and then we fast forward to, you know, I've met a bunch of other auditors. I've met Joe Cool, and then Joe Cool came down to Florida and he was hanging out. And he was down in Fort Lauderdale with Big Nick. And I'm going to show you, and mind you, this is like a 4-year, 5-year difference in between these two videos. And I want you to see the differences between what you just saw and now.
Oh, Sarge, be safe.
Have a good day.
Hey, if you got a second, Sarge, that's my friend Nick. My name is Joe. I'm from Chicago.
Came down from Chicago to
How
work
you
with.
doing?
I'm doing good,
Good,
man.
man.
He seems to hold you guys in high esteem, man.
Yeah. Because our policy does not allow me to make statements while I'm wearing this uniform in the kind of way that you need me to do it. So what I'll do is give you my number. We can talk.
I do not trust the cop. Every time they give you numbers, bullshit. They don't get back to you. Any of that
I'm
stuff.
making assumptions based on something.
I'm making assumptions. I'm coming out of Chicago with all those crooked ass cops. Which is what I wanted to ask you. I'm not. No, fuck that. Fuck that. That just means you fucking might be too close to this man.
So now you can see a little bit of a context thing going here. I'm making my opinions based on what I am seeing. And so we fast forward to last night during this live stream, and Big Nick and John Felix they're having a debate about, you know, a few things. And this is going to be a multi-part thing because I think it's important to show some of this, is because I want you to make your own opinions and assessment. This is not me trying to bash Big Nick. He was a big man to step up and have this debate about the Second Amendment, which is always a difficult one for most people. But I also it's going to give some context about, it's not just about the Second, it's about all of our constitutional rights. And it's hard for me to explain this without showing you, so let's just get into it.
Have you followed along so far? Have you heard anything?
Well, I just heard the last statement you said, like, no, quote unquote leftist. I don't leftist. I mean, I guess you guys are righties. If I'm a lefty, I guess you're a righty.
Well, Constitution is very much to the right. Yeah, I'm a constitutionalist. Yeah.
Well, I mean, we can debate that too.
Okay.
We can debate that too, but you know, and then if you want to debate a document that you guys now claiming is not a living document, that's 250 something, 260 years old, versus when people was wearing white wigs comparing to today. If you want to hold that document and not say that it's a living, breathing document, then maybe you're right. But I think it's a living, breathing, ever-changing document to conform with the times on certain events. I really do. Because it's 260 years old.
There's a process to change the Constitution. It's called amending it.
We had prohibition, which was an amendment, and then they repealed that amendment and made alcohol legal. So yes, you can amend the Constitution, but you have to do it by like 2/3 of Congress. So good luck.
Those are amendments. Those are adding new things to it. I'm saying that Constitution should evolve to what's currently going on in today's society. And a lot of people like me look at it as that, and that's the way it is. I mean, you said how can you prevent these mass shootings? Number one, how about we stop making so many fucking guns? Why do we need to make all these guns? We have more guns in this country than we have people.
Right. So if there was a gun problem, we would sure know it, wouldn't we?
Yeah, absolutely, there's a gun problem.
With 400 million guns. Not really. Not compared to how many people there are.
So how many knives went into a school and killed up 16 little kids? How many times a car drove into a school and killed up 16 little kids? What car drove into a grocery store and killed 9 unarmed black people? What
why
car
does it have to be those specific venues?
What car drove into Ebenezer Baptist and killed all those people while they was praying at the altar? What car did that? What car killed at the Pulse nightclub? Because you guys already want to talk about, if you don't have a gun, you can have this. You can have this. What about this? But the difference between a gun and a knife, if you maybe can get 2 people with a knife, how many people you can get with a gun?
I believe there's been mass stabbings before, and it was more than 2 people.
Like, you keep saying you believe it. I need receipts on that. Where is a mass stabbing happening?
Nick, give me a chance to look it up, bro. I'm looking it up.
Okay. Please do.
That's not the point, though. The point is, I'm pretty sure also that.
And you think because I want safer gun restrictions or regulations, that mean I don't want you to have a gun? Is that how you guys equate when people say
where it always leads to? Well, you don't get to tell, when the government gets to tell you what you get to have, you're not a free person.
John,
you get that, right?
Did the government say they were taking away guns?
For example, we passed the most extensive gun legislation in 30 years.
I want you to imagine if Joe Biden said, we passed the most extensive anti-free speech legislation in 30 years. Or we passed the most extensive unreasonable search and seizure legislation in 30 years. People would be running around screaming that the world was ending. That's essentially what he just said, though. Joe Biden just bragged about being the most anti-Second Amendment president in 30 years, if not our history. Someone please explain to me why the president of a country founded on the idea of freedom is bragging about restricting freedom. The Second Amendment isn't just a suggestion. They wrote it out specifically in our Constitution. Actually, they went further than that. They wrote the Constitution and then decided to add 10 more amendments to it just because they felt that these particular rights were so important, they needed to be spelled out specifically. And Joe, which way do I go, Biden, is literally bragging about infringing on the only amendment that says shall not be infringed.
You mean the government as far as who?
Period. I don't remember a time.
Oh, there's plenty of quotes. I told you earlier today I could find them, but then you switched it to being born gay and you kept changing the subject.
Yeah, because you gave me something from the Heritage Foundation. Remember, I'm a leftist. I know what the Heritage Foundation is.
No, I did not.
You did. You pulled up something on Google and you didn't see where Google got that source from.
I pulled up, I Googled, what does the meaning of
where was the source from of that answer, John?
Let me finish my sentence, bro.
I know.
I Googled what was it? Meaning of well-regulated militia, because I just got done telling you that well-regulated means that all able-bodied men were in shape and had the tools and the things they needed, the guns and the ammo and everything.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Okay.
Who regulates it?
Can I finish? So I Googled what's the meaning of a well-regulated militia, and almost every source on that page said what I said. So I took a screenshot of the whole search, and one of them happened to be the Heritage Foundation. I also sent you 2 more screenshots with other sources, and most of the sources agree with me.
I didn't see it, but I know you can. Until I open it up and read everything about that, then I'm not going to agree with just because you sent me a picture of something that has a headline that agrees with the narrative. But hold on. Let me ask you a question. While we on regulations, right? We on regulated. McDonald's has a certain code uniform with their uniforms, right? The colors, everything. Who regulates that?
Who? Now, if you're talking about regulate in current English versus regulate during the Constitution, those are two different words. You understand? And they're used differently. It's not the same English as back then.
Look, me and you can't regulate a militia. It has to go through the proper channels of the people that will certain power to give us regulations. We can't just
that
go
would
out
be
and
the generals.
Regulated this. We don't regulate anything. We allow the power of our we allow people to have the power that we give them to put those regulations on things. We as individual civilians don't regulate anything.
Well, how do you regulate something that cannot be infringed?
You mean like the well-regulated militia? That's being infringed upon.
Who's infringing on the militia?
Everybody that got a gun.
So people shouldn't have guns.
That's not in a militia, or that's not a part of an established of the government.
The people are the militia, Nick.
Hey, I'm just going. Yeah, but it's not regulated by us, by we the people.
Again, and I showed you 4 different screenshots. It has to be
regulated.
Yes, and I showed you 4 different screenshots of what that meant.
Well, your interpretation is your interpretation, but I know the only
I gave you 4 receipts. You asked for
interpretation. I didn't open up any of them. I didn't open up any of them. Well, I didn't see the other ones.
You, buddy. That's
I didn't see the other ones. Wait, I didn't see the other ones, but the one called the Heritage Foundation, we can debate all day about the Heritage Foundation.
No, I'm not going to keep moving the goalposts. You said
I'm not moving the goalposts at all.
Okay,
my goalpost is this. My goalpost is this, John. Let me tell you my goalpost. My goalpost is at the age of 20, I enlisted into the United States military. I took an oath to uphold and defend the United States Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic, right? And what that means is you have a right to bear arms. I will go to war for your right to bear arms. Does it mean I personally like guns? No, I don't personally like guns. Do I think that my neighbor who lives in the same city I live in need an AR-15? No, I don't think so. And did you know under Bill Clinton, who I'm not a fan of either, but under Bill Clinton, there was an assault weapons ban. Since that assault weapons ban came back into play, gun death has risen expeditiously every single year, and it can all be tracked back down to that gun death. I don't care about your gun. I care about the people who's getting the guns and killing up swaths of people. That's what I care about.
Yeah, but we all care about that. First of all, the Bill Clinton assault weapons ban had nothing to do with assault weapons. It was like magazines and folding stocks and nonsense. I'm assuming you're not
assault weapon ban. I mean, all of that is the weapon, man. All of that is the weapon.
Nick, tell me what an assault weapon is.
Well, I'm not a gun guy, so I know I'm not a gun guy. So you asked me an expert. It's not about, to me, it's not about if it's a 44 mag or it's a 22 or if it's a bazooka. It's not about that. It's about we have too many. It's too easy to access, and too many people are good law-abiding gun owners until they're not.
You're going way too far ahead. You said no one should have an AR-15. What's the difference between an AR-15 and a 40 cal?
The amount of firepower and the amount of.
Which one has more firepower?
I don't know.
See, this Nick, no offense, bro, but
we don't have to debate guns. We don't have to debate guns. The guns isn't about debates. The debate is about weapons of mass destruction for people who go out and kill other people. I don't care about the caliber of the gun. I don't care about the caliber of the gun. I don't care. I just know my neighbor next door to me don't need 5,000 magazines.
Also,
5,000 rounds.
From AR-15 to magazines. Which one is it?
Rounds. Whatever the case is. Look,
okay, so what kind of rounds should they not have? Assault rounds?
They have bullets. They have shit that'll kill people. Okay, get past this.
Nick,
get past this. I don't listen. I will lose that. What kind of gun is this? I will lose that all day to you. I will proudly say, yeah, I lost that. I don't know shit about guns, and I'm proud about that. But I do know in my lifetime, nobody with a knife has gone into an elementary school and killed 26 kids. I do know in my lifetime, no one has gone into a grocery store with a hammer and killed 10 people. I do know in my lifestyle, no one has gone to a nightclub and shot up everybody in there, a movie theater, a concert, a synagogue, a mosque. What?
They're killing people too fast?
They're killing people too easily.
So you're saying they should be done slowly?
No, I'm saying it shouldn't be able to be done at 15 people at a time.
So you want it to be slower, like serial killers do.
I don't want it to be at all. I don't want it to be at all, John.
Utopianism. Utopianism is the ism of utopias. It means a belief or interest in a perfect world, or at least a world designed to be perfect.
Okay.
I don't want it to be at all, John. I know one way we can eliminate 20 people being killed at once. I know one way we can do that.
How?
By eliminating weapons that kill 20 people at once.
You realize that's 95% of guns, and this is why I keep trying to make the statement.
No, it's not. You got to reload. Nobody has time to reload a revolver and kill 20 people.
Wait, you just said you don't know about guns.
I do know revolvers can't kill 20 people at once.
Yeah, revolvers are 5%, and the rest of them are semi-autos that have the capability to kill lots of people. 95% of guns is what you're talking about.
But they're not using 95% of guns, John. They're not. What? They're not using 95% of guns. They're using one particular type of weapon.
Nick, 95% of guns can do what you just described.
Absolutely not. 95% of guns would not have killed all those kids at Stoneman Douglas. 95% of guns would not have done that. 95% of guns would not have killed 26 kids at Sandy Hook.
Tell me why.
Because they wouldn't have had time to. You're not going to kill up a classroom of 15 people with a revolver.
Nick,
you're not going to do it.
See, again, who said anything about a revolver?
Oh my God. Now, so we can't talk about guns as a whole?
No, because guns are different. Revolvers are like 5 shots and you got to reload.
Okay.
95% of, can I finish a sentence, please?
Yeah.
95%.
I want to let you gas like
95% of all guns are semi-autos with the capability of having 30-round magazines in them and can kill everyone just like you described. That's 95% of guns. And that's why all this twisted language with assault rifles and the leftist talking points about we just want to get rid of guns, weapons of war, weapons that can do this super fast. That's almost every gun.
I agree.
That's almost every gun.
And like I said, this is not a bash on Big Nick. This is not me trying to bash him. He is well within his rights to have his feelings about the Second Amendment. I just, it's just, I'm having trouble watching him from 5-6 years ago about the things he was doing and how he wanted accountability and wanted to stand up for the rights of the people and things of that nature, and you just have to accept the Second Amendment is part of that. This country was founded on firearms and defending against tyrannical government, and for most gun owners, 90% of us, 95% of us all live by, with great power comes great responsibility. And that's what I live by. And that's what I hope all gun owners live by. But there are evil people that do evil things with firearms, and everybody blames the firearm. It's not the firearm. It's the tool. He was there, and the bad person did something bad with the firearm. So that's where the blame is, on the evil people. And we don't live in a utopian world where everybody is beautiful and nice and pink unicorns. This isn't the Minority Report.
I'm placing you under arrest for the future murder of Sarah Marks.
Where, I just think this guy's gonna do something bad, and then we just arrest him and we throw him in jail, and he hasn't even done any. He doesn't even know what he's done. That's not how this country works. And you have that belief. So, like I said, not bashing Big Nick. I'm just pointing out some things that I'm struggling struggling to deal with coming from him. So, you know the deal. Don't forget, hit that like, share, and that subscribe button. If you want to watch the 3-hour live stream, it will be in the description below. And stay tuned for part 2. And I'm out. Soliecker. Deuces.